Hello, happy Friday. Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight, Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So tonight, we are finishing up our letter P, our little piggy here, our Pegasus. We gave him little wings. And we just have the letters to go. So that's what we'll be doing tonight. So all right, let's get stitching. Okay, you guys. So, all right, there we are. So we are working on our little friend here, and we got him all done. And last night we tried that new stitch, the drizzle stitch. So we made all these little goofy little naughty little grass guys here, so that was really fun. That was a new stitch for me, and we played around with that a little bit, and I definitely want to do more of it. It's just such a silly little textural stitch. It was just kind of fun. So we have the letter P's to go yet, and I kind of think I kind of almost want to do them just like the wings. I like the idea that we could, just do the same thing, like fill it in with white with the short and long stitch, and then, over these little bits would probably be satin stitch, and then do the outline in blue. So, I don't know, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Then it'll connect, our eyeballs will go back and forth between the wings and the letter P, so that will kind of put emphasis on the wings, I think. Like, hey, look at these fun little guys that we added to it. So I don't know, that's what I'm gonna go with, I think. And we still have a bunch of white and a bunch of that blue, so that'll be good. So I think we got some pieces here even already. This guy's a little short, but what else do we got for that? He's pretty short. I'll set them aside though still. And oh yeah, look, we got a long piece here yet. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do that. I think that'll be kind of fun. So all right, I'm going to thread this needle. Ooh, and I think let's get this guy a little bit more out of the way. I'm gonna put him over here today. But turned out so cute. I'm really happy with him. All right, short and long stitch. So I thought we could maybe do, I could draw this out a little bit more since I was kind of free-forming it for here, but why don't I, this time, I'm going to just mark some points in here. I'm trying to be kind of even. I'm not doing a great job, but yeah, I should actually start that over. I'm going to do that with, I'm going to start over with this. I'm going to divide this bit in half, which is about right here. There we go, and let's go in half again, and in half again. And I'm going to just extend it over here. And let's do the same for this one. So I'm just gonna, what I'm trying to do is give myself lines to jump up to for the short and long stitch. This is the part that I basically skipped when I did it earlier. I did just kind of free form, but let's do it with lines this time. This is kind of a pretty big jump, but I think we can do some big stitches for this. It'll get done faster that way too. So all right, let's grab the needle and thread. And I'm going to just tie a knot at the end here. I'm going to start with an away knot. And then we'll weave this in later. All right, so I'm going to just pop this from the front over here. I'm going to ignore this for a little bit now. All I'm doing is reserving thread for later. So these are going to be big stitches compared to up here, but I think that'll be fine. So I'm going from, we're doing short and long, so I'm going to start with a long one. I'm going to go all the way up to that second line, and then I'm going to do a short one. So I'm just going to go up to, I'm going to start at the bottom again, and I'm going to go up to just the short line right next to it. So it's almost like we're making a satin stitch, but with us trading off long stitches and short stitches. And we're going to use up this thread pretty quickly too, which is fine. I'm using scrap floss. So this is kind of an alternative to Satin Stitch to fill in spaces. It does have a little bit more texture than Satin Stitch, and you can actually play with the short and long stitch a lot to make like colors blend together really nicely and stuff. But we're doing kind of like a strict, more kind of structured short and long stitch where we're, you know, like I said, we're going exactly up to the lines and all that. We're being a little less freeform. All right, I think there, and I think we have room for one more long stitch. We'll be back stitching around this too, so it matches our wings later. So if I don't get it all the way to the edge, that's good too. All right, that's our first row, and actually, I think I might even weave in the end. I don't have that much thread left, so I'm gonna just finish this thread and we'll start a fresh one. So I'm just weaving it into the backs of some stitches. And now I'm gonna trim off our little excess bit, that little knot from the front. I'm just cutting that off. And now I have that excess to weave in as well. And now we have some stitches here that I can weave into, so I don't need to do that again where I reserve all that extra thread. Zoop. All right. Boop. Ba-doop. Ba-doop. So this guy actually took quite a bit longer than when we first started out. What I was thinking. I was thinking we'd get this done like 2 days ago, but we added all this extra fun stuff onto it, which I'm actually super happy about. I think it's fun. All right, here's a little bit longer piece. This will last us a while. So let's thread this. This is 3 strands already, right? Yep. I'm just going to weave in the backs of stitches here again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that was row 1. Let's do row 2. And now, after we've done the first row, all we have to do is long stitches. So the second row, I'm actually going to only do the stitches that are on, that were starting with the short one. So, like, we're stair-stepping basically. So I'm only doing all the in-between bits where the short ones ended. I'm just going to each one of those and making a long stitch. So that's like two bumps up. 2 lines up, basically. I guess there are only 4 in there. Well, I guess this is a pretty skinny space, so that makes sense. Zoop. All right, and then the next row, I'm just gonna do what was our original first long stitches, and we're gonna go all the way to the top. Boop. I'm gonna have to get this water-soluble ink out eventually here too, but I think we're fine right now. And last one on the edge. There, and then the last row we just have to put in some short ones again. So that was a pretty quick fill for this whole area. I'm going to do satin stitches for these sides, and then once we get to like this long part again, then I'll switch back to the short and long. Or long and short, I keep forgetting. There. Nicely filled. It's got some fun texture to it. There we go. Now we're going to fill this with the satin stitch. I could have actually changed directions of thread and gone like a short and long stitch horizontally maybe, but I'm keeping all the stitches vertical. I'm not actually quite sure we'll finish these peas tonight, just because, I don't know, whenever I do these letters it usually takes a little bit longer, but I don't know, we'll see. That went pretty fast, I think, that side. So when my stitches get to be where they reach that blue line again, then I'll start the long and short ones. Be sure to check your emails on Monday, you guys. We got some fun things happening next week. Alright, so here we are to this line. So I'm going to call this my first short stitch. Ooh. This is going to be a little weird doing it this way, but that's fine. It would have been easier for me to start up here and go down, but we're just going to roll with it now. So long, get a little short in there. Long. These short ones are just going to go till, you know, I run out of space here, because I'm following the edge of the letter P. And I think this might be my last stitch. Oh, we might be able to get one teeny tiny short one in here though. Yeah, I think this will be my last short. Boop. There we go. Oh god, I really want to get one more long one in though. I don't have enough floss for that. I gotta weave it in. All right. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I think I'm gonna get some fresh thread. I do have a few little white scrappies yet, but I think this will be easier just getting a long piece right away. Alright. We used a lot of white in this. We started with a lot more on that bobbin, that's for sure. One. Two. And three. Oh, Lynn says, this pattern is hysterical. I think it's turning out so fun. It didn't start out this way, so this is the original design, just a plain old pig, and we added all this other crazy stuff to it. Little flower on his butt, a little daisy, and funny little wings. Alright, now we should be ready to stitch for a little while with this nice long piece. Alright, I'm gonna weave in right here. Okay, we need a long stitch here yet. There we go, and I'm going to kind of come back with theoretically long stitches. In this case, it can only go to about there. But we're going to the opposite end here. Actually, I'm going to get in the middle spaces too, so I'm going to do just kind of like stair stepping. That guy, and then the one that goes in between. We can go right like this. There we go, and then I think we can just call the rest of these satin stitches. We're going to take that long to fill this space. Oh, Amy says I just googled it. It's long and short. Long and short, short and long. I think that's what I've been saying mostly. Long and short, or short and long. Long and short stitch. Short stitch. Oh man. I think I've been saying long and short stitch more. Not sure. So normally when I would do satin stitch on, on something like this, I would go just on the outside of my lines to cover up the lines, and I'm kind of just leaving them now because I'm going to be back stitching around this whole thing, so I'm not as worried about covering up the lines with my satin stitches, and I'm not worried about the edges being super duper perfect either. Just because, yeah, I'll be outlining it still And normally I wouldn't outline it, but I'm wanting it to look the same as how we did the wings. So design wise, I'm just adding that extra blue. I don't think I need another one in there. All right, so there's our first one. We'll get that outlined, but I think I'm gonna just jump right on over here and start this small P. Let's start with a long one. The look of this kind of reminds me of that brick stitch, which is basically doing a bunch of rows of backstitch next to each other, but like offsetting each row. I feel like we're kind of, oops, doing that same thing. Did I lose a piece here? No. We're kind of doing that same thing except for horizontally. Like instead of like doing the next stitch and the next stitch and then doing the next row, we're doing like all the first parts of the row, then the second parts of the row. If that kind of makes sense. But the look of it is pretty similar, I think. And I think that's okay. Long. Just a little crooked here, so might have to adjust a little bit, but all right, now I'm going to just kind of stair step. Oh, well, that was silly. I don't have enough thread to do that. We're going to pull that out and weave in. I'm gonna have to use the needle threader to thread that again too. I just kept going. Ugh, and I need to trim these too, I think, to even get them through there. There we go. Beep. This is not enough to weave in. I'm gonna have to go with the back. I think I'm just gonna kind of like go shimmy sham like that, and I'm gonna have to just go one pass, and we'll have to catch those threads with the next one. I think I'm gonna actually just even leave that long in there for now. Let's get the next piece here. Let's just try and wrap around that piece a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to trim it. So all these fuzzles don't get in the way. Alright, where did we leave off here? Maybe right here. Long. Short. And long, and I mean, I probably could go another one wide, but since we're outlining it, I'm not going to do that. Alright, let's do kind of the, uh-oh. Let's do the satin stitch that will go around here. I might need to use more white. We're going to be like using up all the white on this. Ooh, Dawn said just looked out my living room and there's a deer eating grass. Oh, that's fun. Oh, Linda is asking, do I have a tutorial for this? Looks different than the way I've done it. I do. So on penguinandfish.com, which is my website, it's in my like the link in the bio. If you go in the menu on my website, there'll be a stitch library. Actually, you can get there right from the like link tree in my bio. If you scroll down, there'll be a button called Stitch Library. So if you click that, I have like 14 or so different stitches in there with video and photos on how to do it and stuff. So I just look for the long and short stitch in there. I'm assuming I called it the long and short stitch, not the short and long one there. But yeah, so I have a tutorial for that with video and photos and description over there in the stitch library. There's also a free downloadable pattern that will that has like 14 different stitches, and that includes the long and short stitch. Alright, so I'm going to call that my first short stitch. Now we're going to go long. So there's other ways to do the long and short stitch when you're like thread painting, like when you really want colors to blend into each other. I wouldn't be so strict on where I'm going. Like I wouldn't go in the exact same hole as the last one. I would like kind of cross over a little bit more and cut into my previous floss a little bit. It'll blend a little bit better, but I don't know, sometimes it's nice to do this like strict, like stacked looking long and short stitch too, so that's what we're going with tonight. Alright, let's call that row 1. Sometimes it's easier to like hold your thread all the way across and then it can tell you where to go with your next one. And I'm just going to do the top area at the same time. So I'm doing like the long and the short one for the last row at the same time. There's not much to fill up here. Alright, I don't have that much thread left. I'm kind of wondering if I can, there we go, get the rest of this satin stitch with the teeny scraps I have left. I think I'm going to have to try because I don't want to get a whole new batch of white out. And this really is only, I'll probably only need a couple extra stitches. But yeah, now I'm back to doing the satin stitch. Oh yeah, Lynn, no problem. Just, yeah, check out that video or the stitch library on the site, and I think that'll hopefully explain it pretty well. I do different colors in the video for row 1 and row 2, so I think that might be helpful too. Ooh, maybe I don't even need to get an extra piece. I think we're gonna totally win thread chicken. I think 2 more stitches will do it. Maybe 1 more stitch would have even been fine, but I'm going to add 2. All right, we have our letters filled. Woohoo! Totally won thread chicken, which is always nice. And yeah, so let's outline these with the blue. And again, I wouldn't normally outline a fill stitch like this, but we've done it a lot in this particular pig piece, and I want to mimic the wings where we did it, so that's kind of why I'm veering from what I would usually do. Like usually I would just keep it like this, and I would have like I said with the satin stitch, I would have made sure to cover up the lines with the satin stitch. Like I would have gone over the top of those lines, but yeah, in this case, we're outlining it. Okay, that piece is way too small. Doesn't look like we have any in there, so we are going to get a whole fresh piece of this. Using up all the floss. Man, we're getting to, oh gosh, I better just do the whole thing. Yeah, we're getting to the end of our thread. A lot of colors. So let's see, I just ended, I gotta write them down so I know how to know what ones to grab. The Garden Rose, this one is Winter Morning, and we almost made it through the white, so I'm gonna just, I should bring some red up too. White is Snowflake, and the red is Northern Cardinal. But yeah, we're using up the thread. I started with so we have 23 different colors, so I started with just a skein of each, and our skeins are small too. They're half the size, so we call them pocket skeins. They're good for little projects. So they're 4 meters long instead of like a lot of companies that are, not all companies, but some are 8 meters. I think Weeks Dye Works is like 6 meters. But yeah, so ours are 4. So we're basically using half skeins if you're used to using like DMC. And we've gotten pretty far with this project. I mean, we still actually have a ton of floss left. We've just been moving through different colors, though. I was just curious how far it would last us. Originally, I was, I was thinking, oh, let's see if we can do this whole collection with just the 25 little half skeins. Um, but that test, we've kind of changed the variables of that test because we have been just veering so much from the original design. So I don't have a clear answer of like, oh, can you do the whole collection with just that much thread? Because we've been just like playing around a lot. But so far we haven't used any fresh thread. We've still been using all the old stuff. Alright, let's give this an outline, and with a back stitch. Gosh, this is a way longer piece of thread than I normally take, but versus leaving the teeny little bit on the bobbin still, that would have been a little scrap. But hey, we're totally gonna finish this tonight. I don't think I'm gonna do any of the like quilt prep for it. Like I'm not going to press it and do the like pin it to the backing and the batting or anything tonight. I think we'll just leave it like this, and we'll have to do the quilt prep stuff for this one and the owl one some other time. I think that's fine though. See, now it's really starting to look like the wings, I think. So definitely adding this outline, I think, was a good idea. Like now my brain is relating it back to the wings. Arlene says probably could have done them all like just with the one skein, or like done them all just as is, but wouldn't have been as much fun. Exactly. Yeah, this has been way fun. Just playing with these as we go. It's been a ton of fun. This guy's cute. We learned that funny stitch, the drizzle stitch too, and I definitely want to do more with that. It's such a goofy looking deal. Like it's just like a weird bloop. Alright. And I gotta do the inside. Oh, I gotta go all the way down to the bottom yet. I didn't plan that very well. I should have started here. But, oh well. I got a loopy knot. No, thank you. There we go. jump up to that middle. It's actually kind of a lot of surface area on the outside of this letter P. We're using up a bunch of this floss. Actually excited we're even going to finish these letter P's tonight, usually, especially when we fill it in with a stitch. Sometimes it takes more than one day. Okay, here's the big letter P. Cute. I think definitely relates back to the wings. And yeah, I think that was just a fun little extra colorful texture on the edge there. Alright, I am going to just jump over to the small letter P, because why not? And I'm just going to get started. So the small P has a smaller, like a skinnier, like downstroke here. But that inner circle there is way bigger. I think we're going to definitely need to use the other piece of floss to finish this guy. Won't have enough with just this. Whoever suggested doing wings on this guy, I think I'm glad we did that idea. That turned out so fun, and it was just fun to draw the different wings and figure out where they go, and that was neat. Be fun to do more of that stuff with this. It's kind of like that with the Tyranno embroidery kit. How we made that extra PDF so we could put like ice skates on them and snow hats and other things. Like a paper doll almost. Could just add some wings to this guy. Alright, so I think I'm going to make it around here with this one thread, but I think I'm going to weave it in. Oh, maybe not. I might have enough for a couple other stitches, but might weave it in here and then for the middle piece get a new thread. But I think I'm going to be able to get a few stitches in the middle circle area. Oh, is there any way to put some Arlene's asking, is there any way to put a pop of the orange or yellow into the mushroom? It pales in comparison to the overall picture. I kind of agree with you. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we add like that orange. Maybe we can add like a couple more French knots in there. That would kind of bring our eye back and forth between those two things, which, yeah, I think which would put some emphasis on the mushroom. That makes sense. I'm getting way farther with this thread on the inside here than I thought. I don't think I'm going to make it all the way around though. Or maybe if I do like the forward stitch and then the back stitch, maybe I'll make it there with just this thread, because that'd be nice. Forward. Maybe we can get in just these 3 stitches. Yeah, awesome. I didn't have to get new thread. Love when that happens. Cute. All right, love it. Yeah, I think I am going to do a couple more French knots in the mushroom there. I like that idea. Yep, I'm still. Surely, so my hubby just came through and said, "Is she still working on that pig?" I am. Getting there though. All right, that's cute. I think those letters turned out super sweet there. Ah, okay, let's do. Let's see if I have any of that color in here. I think we'll have to get some more, which is fine. We should use more of this. Like, I'm surprised we haven't used as much of this. I think this was like the main color that I used originally when doing these designs, so it's actually kind of surprising that I have this much left yet. I know I'm getting a huge piece for just like 3 stitches, but you know, we've been using all the pieces, so we're just basically prepping it for one for later. Alright, so I'm just going to go in and add a few more dots to this mushroom. Alright. Ooh, this is a, oops. This is a pretty orange. I like this one. This is the Euro Peach color. Okay. Let's see, I think we just, I don't know. Where should we put these guys? Let's put one right in the middle, maybe. I'm not drawing any dots on here. We're just going in. Maybe we gotta do one out here. We could do some of the yellow too, because why not? Yeah, let's put some yellow ones in there too. All the colors. All right. I think we have some yellow left. Plenty. Plenty. So the same way that making the letters similar to the wings is going to make our eyeballs jump up and down like that. Having the same colors in this flower as the mushroom, our eyes are going to like jump back and forth this way too. So keeping our eye interest like moving all over the place, which is a good goal when you're designing things sometimes. It's just fun making all these little French knots too. Arlene says, yes, now the mushroom has an identity. I think we're gonna, let's get one way up top. I'm just gonna fill in this space with the rest of this yellow. So I think we need to get like here and here too. But I feel like we need one up here. This pig found a fancy mushroom. Super fancy. We'll do one more in this corner. There we go. It's pretty cute now. All right, let's weave in the end. And I think we will call it on this guy, and we will call it an evening here. Man, a whole nother week gone by. Alright, I'm going to take our little needle minder off so we can see it without that. He's not totally centered in our hoop, but that's fine, because we'll be taking him out anyway. But there we are, our final cute little pea. That mushroom did turn out really kind of cute, though. Fun. All right, you guys. So there's our piggy. All right, everyone. So there we are. I think it turned out so sweet. Those little wings are too cute. I just really like how it turned out. So awesome. I'll have to take a photo of this. We'll get it up in that blog post of our most recent designs for this. We have a running blog post, if you guys didn't know, over on penguinandfish.com. Just do a search for the ABC Stitch Along, but there's a post of all of the designs as we finish them. So you can go back and see like all the fun like variations we did on all the ones that we've done previously here too. And so it's just like a nice like running total of where we're at with this so far. So awesome, you guys. Be sure to check your emails on Monday. We got a big thing happening on Monday, and want to make sure you guys see it. And yeah, thanks again for a lovely week. I will see you guys on Monday here at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Have a great weekend. Good night.